LAZ, man, I took a month off with this YouTube stuff, you heard, to handle business that I gotta handle. But if you're missing the content and you need some episodes, make sure you check this playlist, new and recent episodes only, where it's hundreds of episodes that I'm sure you ain't see about 30, 40 of those, you heard? So make sure you check that playlist. Know what I mean? Tap in, comment gang in the building, Slim Blunt gang in the building, Coffee gang in the building. You already Snow Cone. Make sure y'all go to bloodsagas.com and cop that book, The Blood Sagas, Book 1, Blood and Loyalty.
Okay, but Spirit wants you to know at this time in your life, this is a time where you need to be still. Okay, be still and know that God is working in your favor. Okay, Spirit is
follow True Humble Clarity on TikTok if you need that spiritual advice. Yersk, tell a Z-Man sent you. Back in the days in Times Square, used to be this gift shop, right? It was there for mad long. It was a famous gift shop. If you remember the name of it, you familiar with what I'm talking about, leave a comment, because I can't remember the name. But it was a famous gift shop right there on 8th Avenue and 42nd Street. You heard? And they just sold top of the line gag gifts. You heard? Top of the line type stuff. Because, you know, back in the days, in the back of comic books, that was the thing. In the back of comic books, Archie comics and all of that, they would be promoting gag gifts like exploding gum and the smoke that you made from your fingertips. Remember that the liquid you used to put on your fingertips and go like this and smoke come out your hand and all of that? I was into all of that. The hand shaker with the buzzer on it, I was into all of that, and I was ordering them joints out the back of comic books and all of that until I discovered that gift shop, the gag gift shop that was on the Deuce. You feel what I'm saying? And I discovered that gift shop by going to Playland back in the days to play video games, know what I mean, in Times Square. I used to see that back when they used to have one of the game rooms used to be in the train station. You heard? Back in the 80s on the D train, there was a stop that when you went through the tunnel, it was a whole crazy graffiti mural that became animated and came to life while the train moved. If you know that stop, leave it in the comments. It's supposed to be spring out here and it's dumb brick. You heard? But yeah, man, I got familiar with that gag shop from coming to the Deuce to go to Playland. And like I always say, it was one video arcade that was in the train station on 42nd and 8th, you feel me? And then it was another game room that was in the train station on 34th Street, you feel me? Not in the train station, but in, you know, Penn Station or whatever. It was a crazy game room up there where all the games was sped up so that you lose your money. But yeah, the gag shop. But yeah, the gag shop was like over there across the street from that McDonald's over there. You heard? Right on the corner, or right around that corner. Like I said, leave it in the comments. I'm gonna dig up a picture of this joint too. You heard? But I'm on the Deuce right now. This is where the joint was at. So yeah, I used to run up in this gag shop. Plus, I was going to school over here. Forget about it. When I started going to graphics on 50th Street, man, listen, I was going to this gag shop down there every day because it was the type of place, it was just packed. It was an old spot, you feel me? So it was packed with peanuts. Like, you could just be in there for hours looking through their stuff. They don't even know what they got in there, but they got everything. You heard? I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was right where this Five Below and Crumbs Bakery and all of that. It was right there. Not 100% on that. But yeah, like I was saying, it was the type of place where it was so much stuff up in there, they don't even know what they got up in there. You had to just go up in there for yourself and search and search and search until you found what you really wanted. And they had thousands and thousands of items in stock. You feel what I'm saying? It's a damn shame they even closed this spot because it was a landmark. It should have been a landmark. But Yeah, I used to go up in there copping all of that, bro. Know what I mean? Gum that turn your mouth black, whoopee cushions, putting them on my teacher's chair. You feel me? Putting it on my mom's chair. Whatever I could get my hands on out of here, that was crazy. The bug inside the ice cube. You heard they had the fly inside the ice cube. Like I said, the snapping gum, the joint you shake people's hands and shock them. It was all type of classics up in there, you heard? But when I discovered this one item that was different, you heard? And this item was called egg perfume. You heard? And it came in a little ass bottle. And I found it in this gag shop. And I seen it, and I was like, you know, I done seen them advertise this trick before in the back of comic books where they show a little picture of people running like they smell something crazy. But in my mind, I was like, ain't no way this little ass bottle of clear oil, or I think it was yellow oil, ain't no way that joint smelled potent like that, where like in the picture people running and all of that. I'm like, nah, they exaggerating, but I'ma give it a shot. So I bought that egg perfume, right? Took that back to the crib box. Man, listen, bro, when I cracked that open and I got a whiff of that, when I tell you, that shit was like 400. Matter of fact, it wasn't egg perfume, it was rotten egg perfume. You heard? It was rotten egg perfume. Bro, when I tell you, one drop of that was smelling like 2,000 rotten eggs that somebody just shitted out. This shit was outrageous. That's my word. I was wilding with that shit, taking it to school, putting that shit on people's chairs in school, clearing out the whole classroom. You heard? When I say this shit made people clear out, it made people clear out, my G's. All these shit's fake, you heard? All them shit's gazy. But anyway, son, I was taking that rotten egg perfume. I was clearing out whole classrooms. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't a game. What they said in the picture was gonna go down, it was going down. You heard? One time I caught my mom's. I'm foul for doing this. I'm young. I ain't know the understandings of how this could fuck somebody's whole life up. One day I caught my mom's rushing to go out to work. Even my moms be bringing this up to this day. You heard? I caught her rushing to go to work. And I'm like, oh, yo. My mom's late trying to make it out the door. I'm like, oh, yo, I forgot. I bought you some perfume. I want you to try it. She like, I'm late. I'll see you later. I'm like, nah, just try it on. Take it, wear it to work. Son. My mom's great. Just give me this. My mom's like, just give me the shit. Hurry up. She like this. Bloop, 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 bloop. Took about 3 steps. By the time she hit the door, she like, what the fuck? My shit on the floor rolling. She like, what the fuck you made me put on? I'm like, that's my rotten egg perfume. I just got it. She like, what the hell is wrong with you? I gotta go to work. You gonna have me go to work smelling like this shit? My mom's ran up in the bathroom, grabbed the rag, threw mad soap and water. She washing her neck all crazy. That shit wasn't coming out, my bro. You heard? She had to wash her shit like 3-4 times for that egg smell to come out, because that shit was an oil. It wasn't just some light. Nah, that shit was a thick oil. You put that on your skin, it's a wrap. My mom's was cursing me the fuck out while she ran up out that door late for work, and she was still smelling like that eggery. You heard? So I know she got on the train and it was crazy. My mom's got up on that C train on Rockaway Avenue, cleared the whole train out, I'm sure. Know what I mean? But That was foul. I shouldn't have did that, man. Could have got my mom's fired. Miss Johnston, listen, you smell like shit. We can't have you work here anymore. It would have been disastrous. But yeah, so the egg perfume, the rotten egg perfume, bro, I was clearing it out. I was bringing that to school. I was putting that shit in the hallway of my building, in the elevator, everywhere niggas was going. Everywhere I was going, niggas like, yo, what's up with this rotten egg smell? My shit just laughing. You heard? Like if you was going to graphics and you happened to be taking the A train from Broadway Junction, you know what I mean? You had to get off at 42nd Street and catch the C or the E to go to 50th Street, right? So whatever train was coming first, we got on that shit. Pause, you feel me? So we ain't used to like to get on the E train because the E train was filled with nothing but rich people. You heard? Like mostly rich white people, few Asians sprinkled in at this time. You feel what I'm saying? But at these stops, 50th Street and the E going up, it was nothing but rich ass people. And when we used to get on the train, you know, young thugs, young black teenagers from Brooklyn and Brownsville and all of that, you know, the trains were so terrible at this time with incidents and young dudes fighting and jumping and robbing and shooting and stealing and stabbing on the train. It was a bad stereotype for black youth, high school youth on them subways. So anytime, you know, you take the C train, that was the hood train. Rich people ain't fuck with that. But when you get on that E, you felt mad racial tension at all times. Like when graphics and Park West kids hopped on that E, they used to be mad. So we used to come up in the train car we used to come up on that E, and it'd be nothing but frowns and funny style looks. You know what I mean? People turning their nose up to us and all of that. I spoke about this before, I think, in one of my other stories. But one time I was on that E train with my bro Chicken, rest in peace. And every time we got on the train, it used to be dudes looking at us with their nose turned up and all of that, like we troublemaking teens trying to start. We wasn't trying to start shit. We trying to go to school. You feel what I'm saying? So, one time it was this white dude, old white dude. He was looking at us crazy, like I'm talking about. We come on the train, people grabbing their purses, moving their purses closer to them, all of that good shit, like all of that racial good shit. So we used to be mad. So one time it was this white dude, he was reading the New York Times newspaper. You know, that shit is brolic. You feel me? So he folded the newspaper out and he keep looking at us up and down. And I'm looking at my bro Chicken looking at me. And my memory getting blurry. I'm getting old, people. I'm getting old. My memory is getting blurry. Either me or Chicken, I can't remember which one did it. One of us smacked the motherfucker, I think it was Chicken though, smacked the newspaper out of son's hand, like the big ass New York Times newspaper. He just smacked that shit out his hand. Bow! You know, that shit make mad noise. You hit a piece of paper wide like that. You heard he smacked that shit, bow! And that shit dropped on the floor and like the whole train gasped like, know what I mean? And we like, yo, fuck out of here. And the whole reason for that was like, we ain't even doing nothing, bro. Y'all all looking at us like we gonna rob or steal. We ain't doing shit. But for your racial profiling, take this newspaper slap. Blang! Smack that shit out his hand. You heard? And we got off the train laughing. Fuck y'all niggas. Know what I mean? But yeah, so I got on that E train with all them rich, snooty folks. And they was looking at me the way they usually look at me when I get on the E train. And I was like, I got something for y'all asses this time. You heard? I pulled out the rotten egg perfume. It's my word. I poured like half the bottle on the train floor, splashed some of that shit on the walls, all of that, bro. And I just stood there and waited for the madness to begin. You heard? My shit did that shit, boom, threw that shit back in my pocket. Within like 10 seconds, niggas was like, oh God, God. Everybody was like, oh God, ah. Niggas was running up out the cart, my G. Niggas was running through the door, going to the next cart. Oh God, what's that smell? Son, I let the rotten egg perfume off, my nigga. Spilled like half the bottle on the train cars. You heard? Motherfucking rich white motherfuckers was running for their lives. Oh God! Jesus Christ! What the fuck is that? Yo, that shit was dumb funny, my nigga. Cleared the whole train card out. My shit just was sitting back, laughing my ass off. You heard? Whole lot. Got off at 50th Street. I'm out of here, nigga. That shit probably smelled like that egg shit for the next 10 months. You heard? What's good? What's good? Yo, just seen some Gen Pop gang in the building, man. Shout out to them. Yo, so yeah, man. That shit was dumb funny watching them niggas scurry out that train from that rotten egg perfume, my nigga. But I was out of control with that shit. And when it finally ran out, it was a great thing, my nigga. Because I was tearing up the whole Brownsville, the whole Manhattan with that shit. You heard? And it was disgusting, but I missed that gag shop, man. You heard? And if it was open nowadays, I'd be running up in that shit every day the same way I was when I was 14 and 15 years old. And that's a whole fact. Z-Man Suicide Polo with the Ski Man. Holla at me.